Right now on the D League Show, the Armor showcased their skills in Texas. From the opening game against Utah to L.D. Williams flashing his game in the dunk contest, Springfield left town feeling good. Okay, maybe great. Plus, why the Armor may be onto something with Gavin Edwards. And get a visit from assistant coach Tommy Verdell. Yeah, that's right, TV on TV. I'm thinking he may be a natural. Watch and see for yourself right now.
Now, this is the D League Show.
What's up and welcome here inside the D League Show, your all-access pass to the NBA D League and the Springfield Armor. John Chandler, glad to be with you. We will be joined by assistant coach Tommy Verdell, sitting in for D Brown this week. A coach, of course, out on the road doing a little bit of scouting. TV will slide into the chair in just a few, but let's start with the D League Showcase. From South Padre Island all week long, all D League teams converging down there in Texas with scouts in the seats, playing for 10-day contracts from the NBA. First quarter tied up against Utah. Scotty Reynolds with the tip, and then Gavin Edwards finds him in transition. Armor up by 220-220. Second quarter, Springfield up 11. Trey Whitted says, that's not quite enough. How about three more? 14-point advantage for the Armor. How well is Trey Whitted playing right now off the bench for the Armor? Seems to be doing it in every game. 5 minutes left in the quarter. Jerry Smith here on the drive, finishing strong. Still got a 14-point lead for Springfield. Taking it into the third quarter, Jameson Curry on the move here. Jameson spots up, three in the air, and it's good. They usually are when Jameson lets him fly. Armor up 10 at this point. Fourth quarter, Jerry Smith, three the hard way. Armor up by 7. Utah, though, would rally, kept chipping away here, and they would tie it. Just over a minute left. Gavin Edwards turns around, goes to the bank, and drops it in to seal the victory for the Armor. Big win to start the showcase play for the Springfield Armor. 95-89 your final count. How about 6 Armor players finishing in double figures in this game? They spread the wealth around. That's their key if they want to get a win. More often than not, each night they're going to have to spread it around and get a couple of guys into double figures. More than just 1 or 2. You got to have 4 or 5, and in this case, 6 guys. Chase McFarland leading the way with 12.6 boards. Jameson Curry, another 12. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and then Jerry Smith dropping a dozen as well, grabbing 5 rebounds in the process. Let's check out Game 2. A couple days later on Thursday, Antoine Walker in the Idaho Stampede. And just a little hint, that's about all you're going to see Walker do in this game. He had just 6 points, really pretty much a non-factor. Armor with time winding down. How about Gavin Edwards beating the buzzer and drawing the foul? The and one pulled the Armor within 7 after 1. We're going to jump to the third. Chase McFarland showing a little range with the jumper right here. Product of Wake Forest playing better and better with each game here in the D League. 17 points, 12 boards. Still, Armor trailed by 8. They'd cut it to 1 later with Jameson Curry right there. And the Armor now leading by 1, but in the fourth quarter, Trey Whitted beating the shot clock with a jumper. All tied up at 70 here. About 4 minutes left. Still tied up at 70 with McFarland and the hook shot right here. So we stay tied with 23 seconds left. Cue Seth Tarver. Somebody's got to deke him up there. That would be your game winner. Coach D, not amused. And the Armor drop a tough one to the Idaho Stampede. 90-86 your final count. McFarland, how about this? A double-double, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Gavin Edwards chipping in 13 points. And not to be outdone, Vernon Goodrich, 10 points, 6 boards. Vernon making up for fouling out in that first game of the showcase earlier. Said it before, we'll say it again. Chase McFarland playing so well right now for the Springfield Armor. We'll talk a little bit more about him a little later in the show with Tommy Verdell. Now, part of the NBA showcase includes a dunk contest, which, of course, means L.D. Williams will be there. He was a regular in the NCAA dunk contest back at Wake Forest. Okay, he didn't win there, but he did in Texas this week at the showcase. Check this out, folks, right now. This is L.D. throwing it down thanks to Chase McFarland, shooting the video with his cell phone and posting it on Twitter. Look at this again. L.D. throwing it off the side of the backboard, which in and of itself is pretty tough to do, and then going out catching and windmilling. You can watch the dunk contest in its entirety on Versus, January the 29th. So mark it down, DVR it, do what you got to do. Make sure you watch L.D. in action. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Dee Brown had a little something to do with coaching up L.D. for that dunk contest. Of course, Dee won it in the NBA back in '91 with, well, you remember. We're calling our first time out of the show here. When we return to the program, got a lot to talk about. Assistant coach Tommy Verdell going to slide into the chair for Dee Brown. We'll put L.D. Williams under the microscope with TV. And there's more to L.D. than just dunking a basketball. The assistant coach will explain what we mean. That after this. Keep it right here on CBS 3 Springfield. D League Show coming back after this.
You're watching the D League Show.
Gavin right now, he just don't know the plays well enough. You know what I mean? But the scary thing is, like you said, it's game, travel, game, travel. Ain't no time for practice. So
no,
because like well, I mean, on that Hawk action just now, he was gonna go set that screen, and who he thought was passing.
I hear
you. I feel you.
You know what I mean? Tell him to pop.
One more. Go, keep it up. Go. Come on, we gotta get the stop. Hit ahead. Wait, I didn't gonna call a technical there. He can't stop the break.
Joined now by Armor assistant coach Tommy Verdell, the voice in Dee Brown's ear, and well, clearly by that, the voice of the referees here. Sometimes you're not afraid to let it fly out there.
Sometimes, you know, you have to remind them about certain things.
Thanks for being here on the D League Show with us, and Coach. Tell us a little bit about it. I mean, we hear about, you know, Coach Dee Brown obviously on the sidelines, but you know, you and Kevin Whitted do such an important job in prepping the coach and the team for a game and in practice. What's your role on the team like, and on game day in particular, what's your role?
Well, game days, most times we have a shoot around in the morning, around 11 o'clock or so, you know, just to get the guys in the gym, get them up, get them loose, going for the day. We will go over the scouting report of the other team, you know, go over some of our sets, you know, just start to prepare ourselves mentally, you know, for that game. Then we'll come back around an hour and a half before the game. We'll get on the court. We'll start to get mentally prepared as well as physically prepared. Try to get guys, as Kevin says, wet. Get them a good sweat going, get them nice and loose. About 30 minutes before the game, we'll go back into the locker room and just touch base on game plan, what we want to try to get accomplished for that day. I like Dee's style. He's not really worried about the other team a lot. You know, he wants to focus in on what we want to get done, and then give the guys a few pointers, you know, a few tips on what the other team is going to do. About 20 minutes, then they'll go out and get loose, and then it's game time.
And that fits in well with the whole idea of the development league. You're trying to coach these players up, not just for a game, but coach them up for their careers. You're trying to develop them.
Yes, definitely. Coaches and players, you know, as well. Like, you know, not just myself, but even Dee every day is always talking about trying to get better and stuff. So that sends a good message to all of us when he's as humble as he is and as hungry to learn as he is as well.
How'd you get involved with the Armor?
It's just kind of crazy, really. I got to help out with the local player tryout that they had. You know, this is our second year in existence. So that went great. That was 2 days. And then I got a call back about, you know, maybe a week or so later asking if I could come help out with the training camp. So I was like, great, you know, I'll be there. And then one thing just led to another, and, you know, I was able to be at the home games. I could get to all the practices and stuff. So it just kind of, opportunity knocked, I guess, and I was just fortunate enough to have the opportunity and the time to kind of roll with it.
Yeah, some of these players go to the tryout and they're hoping to get a call back. You end up getting a call back, and that worked out great.
Exactly, it really did.
And I know Dee is thrilled having you on his staff, and a lot of these players, they love working with you. Now, each assistant coach has his own territory or his own specialty. What would be your specialty?
I mean, you know, Dee, I help Dee out with the guards a lot. Kevin really deals with the bigs a lot, but you know, I interact and work with the bigs as well. I don't feel like, I don't want to be a coach that can't do everything. You know what I mean? You might not be as good at one thing as another, but I want to be able to try to do all of it. But particularly, like, I work a lot with the guards, you know, just trying to emphasize what Dee wants to get done. I mean, that's our job as assistants, is to make him the best coach that he could be and to make our team the best team it can be.
Well, it's been a big difference year one to year two for this
Yes.
team, and I know you guys have lost a lot of close games. You can see it developing. You can see these guys getting better. And, the big thing, they haven't had a lot of practice time. And even with that, the pickups that you made midseason, Chase McFarland, Gavin Edwards, things are starting to kind of gel for this team. There's a couple of players in particular, and we'll start with Chase, red hot right now for this Armor team. Chase has got double figures in 4 of his last 5 games. What's working so well right now for Chase McFarland?
Well, I think first of all, Chase is a very good basketball player from the neck up. He has the ability to make other players better on the team. He's a presence down low, offensively and defensively, and he's just hungry and wants to get better. We get at it every day in the gym. We'll stay afterwards and get shots up. He's always in my ear. Coach, what can I do, this and that, to get better, or to try to improve my chances and stuff. So it's an enjoyable experience working with a lot of these guys because there's really no ego involved. They just want to do whatever they have to do to get to that next level.
Another guy who's red hot right now, Chase's Wake Forest college teammate, L.D. Williams. L.D. obviously, winning the dunk contest is one thing, and we know he can throw it down in a game, but he does so much more in a game.
Yes, L.D. and I have spent a lot of time after practice, working on his perimeter shooting. He has all the athletic ability in the world. I mean, athletically, he is an NBA player right now, and it's just about getting his skill set up to pro level.
Now, you work specifically with the guards. LD is a guy that you've been kind of taking under your arm here, under your wing, to work with him on, areas that he needs to improve. Take me through what a typical workout with him would be.
Well, normally we get into what we're going to do after practice, and we'll grab one of the managers. Most times it's John, and we just work on some of our actual offensive actions where he gets his shots off of. Okay. So the ball will get reversed from one side of the court to the other, so I'll hit him with that reversal pass and he'll knock down that shot. Or we'll work on him coming off a screen, knocking down perimeter jumpers. So basically just trying to simulate the game shots at game speed under game conditions, because ultimately you have to practice at or above game speed in order for it to carry over to have any kind of effect during the game.
And when he gets that NBA call-up, he's going to cut you a little check, right, for all your help.
My wife won't be complaining.
Outstanding. And, that's the thing about the D League is you don't want these guys to go up, but you do want them to get that call-up because that means you're doing your job. Right?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Got a feeling. Some scouts have their eyes on L.D. Williams.
I know they do.
All right. Keep your eyes here on the D League Show. We're just warming up here on the program. When we return, at UConn, they call Gavin Edwards a late bloomer. We'll tell you why. We'll hear from Gavin. He's now with the Armor, and he's starting to blossom. Keep it here for that and more on the CBS 3 D League Show.